Hey, God Almighty. It's the Sweat Equity Podcast coming from Cigar City Studios in the Toco Works office. I'm your host, Law Smith. Sitting here with me, my guest, former client, but now a good friend. Let's give it up for Kim Lackey. You want to go Kimberly Lackey?
I was waiting for the claps there, but there are none. Kimberly is great. Kimberly sounds great.
Oh, you're thinking of claps from our buddy Nicholas Snap, Make It Snappy.
That's right.
So he didn't warn me when I did his podcast, because some people do this, and I forgot some people edit their podcasts. My whole thing with podcasting was like, I like that it's not formal. I think there is good ones that are formal, like the NPR ones, where they really put production value. But I'm going to just bank on the comedian style that's really informal and kind of grimy and, not crazy production value. So when you do Nick Snap on Make It Snappy, you do his podcast, he doesn't warn you. For a guy who is a productivity operations expert, you'd think you get some warning. And so I'm doing the podcast. He's doing it in here. We've got another guy here that I'd never met before we started. And then, we have some guy in Skype. And then he just claps like he's in Shanana or something like that. And you're like, what? Okay. He's going to do that to edit later. So I don't – what did I tell you before we started? I was like, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Let's figure this out.
Exactly. Well, that's totally my style. I mean, I think that's how we became friends. I mean, it's like –
well, yeah,
I'm improv style, and I'm used to radio. Radio is like you're on air or live.
Yeah,
TV.
But I feel like everybody feels jumpy. Like you have 4 minutes to talk. Like this is such a better way of doing this, just because it's really hard to get in the minutia of like what a guest really wants to talk about. If you're promoting like, hey, I got my new album, it's dropping, you can do that all day on the radio, but when you really want to like talk about real shit, like the hurricane that's coming to Florida.
Oh, it's here
as we're recording this. Yeah. Well, it's there's no rain right now. I'm looking out the window.
Oh, where's Blind Melon when you say that? Come on.
Where is that? Is that the little bumblebee chick?
The total bumblebee. Yes.
I wonder what she's up to.
Halloween's coming up. I mean,
you think that would be sad? I just got a really sad image of like. She's still a little pudgy and like, but that's her thing.
I bet you she totally grew out of that. She's probably a great tapper now. She's had so many years of practice.
She's like the coolest thing in Terre Haute, Indiana or something. Like, it's like, that's the Blind Melon chick. And she's like, yeah. So you're back under not so fun circumstances for little family issue. I don't know if you want to even bring that up. Or?
No, it's cool. You're right. I mean, my grandfather passed away. He was close to 90. He had a great run.
Well, I read the stuff you posted about him, and he seemed like he was the man. Everybody loved him. I didn't know you had a little Hispanic part to your background. I couldn't.
You can't see it. What?
I can't see it at all.
You don't see the Latin flavor?
Well, you wear a sombrero all the time, but that's because you want to get party down on tequila. That's different.
Exactly. Well, sombrero, channeling the Mexican. I don't have that. I've got it's full on Cuban Spanish on my mom's side, full of picadillo and plátanos and empanadas.
And you're saying it correctly. I'm always like picadillo.
Well, I've been slapped upside the head enough times for saying it that way that I just get, no, just kidding. But
did you have a quinceañera?
No, see, I'm not that.
No, you're not that far?
No, I'm not. No, but if you saw my older sister, she looks a lot more Hispanic than me.
You're trying to figure out how to choose your adjectives.
She does. And she's got a lot. Sorry, Carrie. Hopefully you're listening to this. You get us all together. It's full of, it's loud and proud and lots of food.
Always envious. Always, as just a white mutt, always envious. Because our family is just straight up, we are very vanilla as far as like dinners and hanging out. Now it's gotten better. Like everybody's funny. Everybody's really funny in my family, but like I was always envious growing up of the Cuban families because there'd be like 40 people there instead of our 8. There'd always be like, oh, yeah, that's another uncle that, yeah. Well,
that's my cousin.
Yeah.
That's my cousin.
They all live in Miami somehow. And, like, everybody's got a paper plate, and you're just kind of you try to figure out what plastic chair you can get if you can get one. And but everybody has such a good time that, like, I don't know. I'm always envious of that.
No shortage of food. I mean, last night after we went to the funeral was during the day. Then we went to Carmine's. I mean, that's totally, right? I mean, Carmine's for the sort of after celebration, which is what my grandfather wanted.
Yeah.
After partay.
Oh, is that his spot?
Oh, yeah.
So Carmine's is in Ybor City where we're recording this. Carmine's is a restaurant that's got some history to it with some of the older families here, but it's Cuban Italian-ish.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but it's more the atmosphere than anything.
Yeah, so that's where we went afterwards. Then that continued on to both of my uncles. One lives in DeLand, which is outside of Daytona. The other one in West Palm, both of which pretty much couldn't go home because of the hurricane we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't go home. So, I mean, we totally had a hurricane party. We were out at, like, Whiskey Joe's last night. Yeah.
You should have had them come up here.
My uncles were out at Whiskey Joe's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, fun times. We're sitting there. And before, I mean, menus are out. And no one was putting in an order. My uncle just ordered, like, every appetizer just plops on the plate. I mean, it's just like
another
food.
thing I admire. Like, there's always like one guy in the Cuban family or like an Italian family that's like, I got this. You guys don't know how to order. Like, let me take care of this. And orders for everybody. And you're like, oh, I was going to get a Cobb salad. Like.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, we're going to talk about this later, but that totally kind of segues into I'm the only one in my family that's like,
hey, maybe not so much on the sausage.
Exactly.
So much.
Or they're like, hello, you weigh 90 pounds. What's wrong with you? I try to tell them, like, I definitely don't weigh 90 pounds. It's like the only one time in my life I want to, like, add 20 pounds to the number. Like, who wants to sound like you weigh more? I'm like, no, please accept me. I'm not. I didn't run today. I didn't go. I didn't lace up my shoes. Please, I'm in.
We're having Coors Lights at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Friday.
TGIF.
So just to give background to people listening, you are the owner-operator of EMPATH, which is a integrative health coaching. Mm-hmm. I almost screwed that up because as I helped you get up and going with our company, Tocobaga Consulting. And so we kind of met up, June? And kind of, you were like, hey, I've got this idea. I need some help. And we started talking about it. I dig it. I get it. Like, I was saying the other day, I was like, man, I had an interview, the podcast that'll come out, the episode that'll come out before yours. I was like, it's this guy, Rob Chrissy, and he looks like me, has a company like me, does comedy as well, and has and loves football and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and white guy, long hair. And so we're doing a Skype interview because he's in Cincinnati or Pittsburgh or Chicago or something.
I mean, it sounds like he's in Cincinnati from that description.
But he's a total bro and like just so positive. And I'm like, hey, can you be my alarm clock? Can you just call me every morning at 5:34 and just say, hey, get up, let's do it. And what I used to think probably 10 years ago would be like, the self-help stuff's corny or like a life coach is corny. But the more and more I realize, how many people do need that now, maybe more than ever because there's not a lot of community. And then B, it's really hard to motivate yourself all the time. And so I think what you're doing is great, but you have a tough row to hoe because you're kind of, it's not life coaching and it's not, you're kind of making, kind of like what we're doing here. We're not really a digital agency. We're trying to do something a little bit different, which is like holistic kind of small medium business consulting.
Your stuff's integrative too. You can attach that integrative word onto what
I like
you
it.
do.
Yeah, I like integrative. I like enhancement. I like there's a lot of good adjectives that are good trigger words. But like, I know how hard it is to basically go. I need to start this. Not I want to. Like I need to, and I'm gonna be pissed in 20 years if I never did it. And I guess you explain to everybody what your business and your process and all that is. What is Empath?
Well, first, I definitely want to say that you were awesome when I sat down with you day one, and I was kind of like, I need to do this. I don't know what it's going to be called. I don't know the name.
We came up with it in 20 minutes.
I know, but I could just dump out what was in my brain, and you're like taking it and organizing it on paper. You were totally my business coach, and
I'm gonna take that audio clip out and just play it for everybody I talk to.
Testimonial.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, and at the time too, I think when you have those creative, like I had these creative juices firing, like I see this is where I want to go. Help me organize this thinking, and you were awesome at like capturing what it was I was trying to do and say, and you know, I did walk out with a name.
Well, also there's like a weird hubris factor to it. Like it's one of those things where you don't want to go telling everybody, "Hey, I want to be an integrative health coach." Like it took us a while to even kind of nail down that business subtitle.
I still feel like that's going to morph as I grow, and all
businesses morph.
I know.
So it's not that big of a deal, but I mean it's just hard to be concise and get everything across in a couple of words because you are overlapping a lot. It's not just nutrition, it's not just fitness, it's not just like what are you doing mentally, and your story of how you got there, I'm going to let you tell it.
Okay.
But because I'm scared I'm going to butcher it, but you had an interesting story on how you got to us meeting up, randomly, through my sister.
I was going to say it wasn't total random, but
my sister called me. It was like, "Hey, can you meet up? What do you think?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to anybody." Because for that reason, like, entrepreneurs think they go crazy because they don't have anybody to talk to. And sometimes you have a good idea and you could get laughed out of your group of friends or your family because they know you as you. They want to put you in a bucket. So like, for instance, like my good buddies I grew up with don't take me seriously when I'm telling them this nerd stuff I know. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing business with them. And I'm like, you have to stop thinking of me as like that dipshit high school friend of yours. And think of me as the nerd that's like just when you were, going out in your 20s, I was staying in and kind of doing this or working on stand-up. And so I know how that goes when you're like, hey, I got enough hubris to start my own deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think too, with saying and knowing and accepting that businesses morph, they change. I certainly can't go out there and be coaching anybody on their life and basically telling them that the one thing that you can count on is impermanence or change, and then me be rigid in my own business or with my own family or friends. I mean, that's totally being inauthentic. Having said that, I do know that happens, and so when it comes up for me and I feel resistant to the change, that allows me to help. It always allows me to help other people, probably hence the name Empath, because that helps me be empathetic.
No, well, we talked about
understanding.
You brought it up. You didn't know you kind of came up with everything, but all I do a lot of the time is just kind of listen and ping pong back. And we talked about empathy a lot and doing this kind of coaching. You have to have empathy, not sympathy. There's a big difference.
Sympathy weakens people. Nobody wants your sympathy. Empathy is like understanding, compassion, listening. And
getting in people's shoes, walk a mile in their shoes kind of stuff. Yeah. Or really try to figure out, I don't like when people like, when someone freaks out on you. Like a lot of people will freak out back. A lot of the time I just go, I bet that person doesn't know how to talk about what's really pissing them off.
Yeah, well, it's never what you're freaking out on the surface is always like an iceberg under there. Like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep
They're like,
digging.
oh, sorry, I got in a fight with my dad. And you're like, okay, well, don't take it out on me. Like,
oh, sorry, my dog. Yeah.
It would be a crazy world if everybody that freaks out on like people that didn't deserve it, like freaked out in that direction. It's a lot of people don't know how to handle like any kind of stress, any kind of anger, and it usually projects in a weird way.
Let me tell you about that.
All right.
Okay, I want to say something about that.
Hit me.
So this like anger and freaking out and all of this. So those are every time we're shining a light in this world, growing, being bigger, better, and anything, we're casting a shadow. So our shadow side is, there's an opposite, for as, just like when you're going running and then you get sore afterwards, you did something great and there's a, everything in life has a balance. So the harder that you're pushing, I mean, yeah, you get exhausted, you get tired, whatever. You have these shadow sides, and we want to ignore them, or what do I do with this anger? What do I do with this sadness? I mean, because sometimes think of like when you're growing and you're growing a business, and am I going to leave my family behind? I mean, I've kind of experienced that, moving and doing all this stuff, and what do you do with those emotions? Well, if you don't look at them, and you don't address them, they only get bigger. So you've got to. Just like, I mean, you got to express the anger, whether you're screaming in your pillow or I just started taking boxing lessons, which my uncles yesterday totally laughed at me completely. Like,
and now you want to come back the next time.
Laughing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, I would prefer that we just go to the shooting range and get you a 9mm, Kim. I mean, you and your 90 pounds, I don't really see that being super intimidating.
It's not about fighting.
I know. It's about having the inner confidence and knowing. And I got to tell you, when I freaking finished like an hour training, first of all, I'm like drenched in sweat, like pouring
it's the
sweat.
best.
And I'm freaking, I think it like totally produces some testosterone in me. I'm like going around like, yeah, what did they excuse me?
For
I
sure.
have like this whole little sassy thing that, I mean, I have a little sass kind of always, but it gets a little extra.
You think you're sassier than you are, but
no,
the boxing training is crazy. It's the best, next to swimming, probably the best thing you can do. Arguably harder than swimming. I don't know. I've never done long sessions of swimming, but like the boxing stuff, it's cathartic. It's not that it's like, oh, I'm learning how to have a right hook. It's like, oh, no. It's like working 3-minute intervals and something that's uncomfortable, and you're in a room with a bunch of guys, because boxing stuff is intimidating, because you either really know it or you don't, kind of deal. So when you're not an expert, you kind of like, especially as a dude, you think like, oh fuck, this guy thinks I'm a total jabroni. Like, and I need to get back into those, because I'd be the only dude in a fitness boxing class, and he'd smack the shit out of me if I was being lazy. But it's kind of that duality you're talking about. And you're back.
I love I love how strict it is, and it's like very black and white. I started training my first introduction to it was a former Marine, been a Marine for 27 years. They learn their own kind of mixed martial arts in the Marines. And he'd be like, hands up, my arm, I can't. I'm going, no, I can't pick them. Yes, you can. And then, I mean, that whole exercise of like, well, you know what? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can. I don't want to, but I can. And that mental training right there helps you in life, in the emotional stuff, when you're like, how am I going to make this business work? Well, I've felt this before. Yes, I can.
Totally. I totally agree. And it's about balance. I guess I've been thinking about duality a lot. I maybe
paradox. I've been thinking about like duality and the paradox of life. But
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think about. I know I have a contrarian kind of logic too. I know that's kind of my default mindset anyway. Whether I'm saying something back to someone while I'm talking to them, or but I may be thinking kind of like an attorney does, where you're kind of thinking of the other side of the argument. That's kind of the comedian stuff training in me. But I've been thinking about duality a lot because you have to have balance. I'm like, I can't keep up with the clip I'm going at right now because I hate hearing stories of people that are like, I was a workaholic, or I put too much into my business, or shit that didn't matter, and I should have been home, and I should have really been thoughtful about what I was doing instead of like dicking around on your phone and stuff. And so like,
that's a time suck.
I'm trying to get better about like when I'm home, try to be in the moment a little bit more. Stop trying to like, not a screen doesn't have to be on all the time. You can be in silence. You can go do stuff without earbuds in. That's the kind of stuff I'm working on because it's like I'm way the other way on that side. But we're getting off kilter.
Totally, we are. Okay.
I did want to say you live in Hawaii for anybody that's listening, and you're back for aforementioned reasons. But we talked about that. Hawaii's tough. It's surprisingly tough to live there and be really motivated.
Well, I mean, as you're mentioning that, I am transitioning myself out of Maui for the reasons that, I mean, it's just going to be hard for me. It's been great. I've been doing so much writing, and that's been nice. And I have a lot going on there. But yeah, to take my business to the next level, I have to surround myself with like-minded people that are on fire for what I want to do, and that's not it's been great for while I've been there, and I originally went there to go back to school, which was nice, and as I launched this and everything, yeah, but it's been great for what it was, and
it's just too awesome. SoCal never had any rain. And so you just took it for granted all the time that you had great weather. I assume I only know that living there. I assume Hawaii's so awesome that like you need a little bit of like shitty weather, and you need like a little bit of get up and go and a little urgency. I feel like
yes.
I lived in Auburn, Alabama, and you're an Auburn person as well. Like I couldn't take it because people were just like, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. I'm like, let's go. Come on. We're dying.
When is this?
What are we doing? Like, I don't want to go to Walmart. I just want to get this errand done. Like, people are like the two pickup trucks that drive up next to each other
and just chat
and just talk.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I'm right behind.
But you can't. I mean, if you honk, I mean, then they're just gonna say, "Bless your heart." And you're not even. They're still stuck.
Oh yeah, like you're like a little retarded boy. Like bless your heart, and you're like, no, and they're like, easy city boy, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? All right.
Okay, so ask me the question that you asked me the first time, because we're just gonna keep going on a tangent.
I know. We talk.
I need to explain.
ADD highway.
Totally.
So explain what empath is. And then we'll get into your story of how you kind of got there.
So I'm an integrative health coach, and what that means is that I primarily talk to people and help them address big issues. Primary health, to me, is relationship, career. How do you find joy? It's secondary to what you're putting in your mouth nutritionally, like how much broccoli you're eating or blueberries, etc. We can talk about diet. Typically, someone has, I want to lose 15 pounds. I've never been able to do it. Well, what's the real, why are you holding on to that weight? I mean, it's never, I'm not going to use a never, but it's very rarely, it's not what you're eating. It's what limiting beliefs do you have? Why are you holding on to that? And when you can address those bigger issues, that's sustainable. And I did go back to school to...
What school?
I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
All right.
Out of New York. But I went back to school to get the degree or the certification for it. But, I mean, the real reason that I picked that school, a friend of mine told me about it, and I looked at their, little online video, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, I live this. I did this on my own before I knew this was a thing. I didn't know that, you can go to school for this.
What did the video show?
Well, I mean, it was talking about healing yourself from the inside out, addressing relationships. What is your career? Those primary nutritional things. It was talking about that. And even you and I were looking at that circle of life that one time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that they use. what is your spirituality, what grounds you. And it doesn't have to be that you are, nothing against like Catholicism or organized religion at all, but it doesn't have to be that you go to church every Sunday.
Sure.
It can be, what grounds you, what motivates you, what do you believe that's bigger than you, that when all else fails,
you can do faith through works.
Exactly.
You could volunteer once a week, and that could be your
something bigger than you outside yourself. That sometimes I go sit out at Hokipa, famous windsurfing spot in Maui, and I sit there on the rocks and I just ask the Pacific Ocean, seriously, okay, help me. Where am I going next? Very often stuff that's bothering me, I write it and I stick it in the ocean. Like, here, take this. I'm done with this. So, those types of things.
You're littering thoughts in the ocean.
Well,
no.
it's paper,
No.
Hopefully.
Are you physically writing stuff and putting it out there?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. No, I was making a joke. No, that's good though. I mean, there's something, again, like the boxing class, there's something cathartic about visually seeing yourself do that. I think, I can't remember where I heard this. I want to say Radiolab, but like going to the beach or going to a mountain, it's so ingrained in us to be calming because we're primal and you could see your predators from all directions, but now you can kind of cancel one out if it's the ocean, so you can see stuff coming. Same with the mountain. You have the high vantage point. Fun fact.
Well, with the ocean, waterfalls, water in general, the sound of water. I mean, sound is scientifically proven to, the frequency of it, I don't know the exact, but it is scientifically proven to calm you down.
Sure.
I don't know, like they play harps have a certain frequency, like the whatever frequency is supposed. I don't know the exact thing, but they play it for people in surgeries here at Tampa General. They have a harpist.
If I need to get focused, I listen to classical music, which I couldn't name anything, any symphony or any of that. I just put it on Spotify. Or one of my favorite bands is Explosions in the Sky, which is it's an instrumental band out of Texas. They did like all the Friday Night Lights score, if you ever watched that show or movie, and like that gets you focused. It gets you in the moment, and like and actually one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Singer.
That's amazing. Well, so there's so much with sound healing, crystal bowls, stuff like that, and it can sound, depending on what, if someone just hears that, they might think, oh, that's woo woo. Well, no, there's definitely scientific based evidence in the ocean. Have you the Himalayan salt lamps? People put them in their house. No,
it sounds like a good strain of weed. You ever tried that
there
Himalayan salt lamp, man?
Here, it's gonna be out there now. So. You've seen
it's an indica.
The pink.
You sleep a lot.
You've never seen the pink one? They plug them in. Okay. Well.
Oh, I've seen like Himalayan salt.
Okay. Well, so they have lamps too, and those mimic. They have. They give off negative ions, which are what the water gives off too, which is for healing and calming, and it purifies your house.
Huh.
So, FYI, fun fact for you.
That's good.
That bag right there for your baby boy.
We'll open it at the end of the episode.
There's not a Himalayan salt lamp in there, but I'm wishing there was now.
Okay.
Who would have thought?
I'll look it up.
Christmas.
I'm going to write that down. Himalayan weed salt. So let's. I want to make sure I'm not stepping on you explaining empath, but your story of how you got there really kind of gives you the credibility to kind of do this, and I want you to kind of figure out the best way to tell that. Obviously you're probably sick of telling it, no pun intended, but like
I got that late. Sorry.
not bad for no sleep, but my thing is I think your story is inspiring, and it does it gives you the thing. You can always go, I went through this, so I know you can do it too, to a degree, obviously. But like, I think a lot of people can get defeatist when they get bad news, and I think the value of what you're doing is being that that person that goes, hey, I was there, man.
Yeah.
And I had good times during it, after it. I had bad times after it. So I'll let you explain so I'm not so general, but you can go into it.
Well, I think that everybody has their own breaking point, and people are ready to get well, healthy, like in all the ways that we were just saying, in the whole circle of life with what you're eating, your life, your relationships, career, blah, blah. People are ready to do that when they're ready. There's nothing that I can do or anyone can ever do to make them do that. And that part I know for sure, because I had to have some super low points before I was ready to make the changes. So I'd say the first big thing was being 25, and I got diagnosed with cancer. And by the way, it doesn't bother me to talk about it really. It really took me starting this business to say anything, because it was like my life. I didn't actually know that it was different. I just did what I did. Just like I said, how I found that school, and then I'm like, oh, I did that. There's a school for this? Like, I've already done that. I didn't know that what I did was for my own survival. I had to tap into it, but I just thought it was just me. Just like you're awesome at comedy, that's just you. I just thought, this is what I do.
Act, but
I have too. Yes, I have.
Not lately. But I'll say we talked about Nicholas Snap, and him and I share nerd notes, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm trying to work on this project management thing. It's like I feel like I'm making it custom style. Here's how I'm going about it. He's like, oh, that's the McKinsey theory. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I've just been coming up with stuff organically because it just is. You just have to.
It just made sense to you.
Yeah, you just sit and go, well, what am I going to do? Sit around and I'm going to go do what makes this a little bit better. I think people can wallow, and you having that mentality of telling people, hey, try not to focus on that as much and just try to move forward, may help minimize a lot of that, because pain and going through chemo and stuff, when you're lethargic and physically you don't even look like the same person. So that plays with your emotions, and that plays with your mental state and your disposition. At the same time, if you have that mentality you have, which is very football-like, it's like, okay, well, I just got, my dick knocked in the dirt. Now I got to go get back up. I got another play. Go back to the huddle.
Yeah.
And we got another one.
Auburn's defensive line has given some quarterbacks this season that exact feeling.
Hey, Carl Lawson, man.
Yeah.
I like him. He's back. But that's another podcast.
That's another. Okay.
We'll have you on the
I had to plug it.
We'll have you on the college football one, the triple option.
Okay.
Yeah. We're giving away a ticket to the national championship.
Oh my gosh, which is going to be here in Tampa. I got off the plane and saw that. I almost fell down.
Best review online gets ticket to the game from us.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be working on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, one of my mottos, I'd say, I live by so many quotes. I love them. They motivate me, and my own affirmations. Some of them, I'm not saying I coined this one, but at least it makes sense to me that living in fear isn't living. And even if you get a diagnosis that you might not make it, I mean, okay, well, you have a choice. You always have a choice. And I can either accept it and I can either accept, all right, this is going to suck, blah, blah, or I can put a smile on my face and go through it with grace and do the best that I can. Especially if I'm going to die either way. I mean, I'd rather go out, living, quote unquote,
that's a good way to go about it, you know?
So, it really, without knowing, it inspires people around you. Like, someone's got to take care of me. I can't do it. I've got nurses. I've got people showing up for me. Well, I can either be pissed off and mad and angry and kicking and screaming along the way, or I can bring in some cookies and cheesecake, and maybe that's the Southern in me or whatever. I can do the best that I can, have fun with it. And there are times when you're I know for sure, there are times when you just don't have anything and you need to ask for help. I think people are so much more willing to come and help you when you're not being a victim. You know, when they see you helping yourself, even if it's, I mean, I've had arthritis so bad I couldn't pick up a glass of water, but I would scoot it to the edge of the table. I would never let someone just feed me water like a bait. I would just never do it. I would at least
try.
I would at least try, and I think that it helped people around me to help me. But so I got cancer when I was 25, and I went through chemo for 6 months. And I've just always been super sensitive, and the chemo just kind of kicked me in the butt.
Yeah.
I mean, like my doctors would say that I had it really bad, and I had so many amazing people show up for me and help me, and help me out with side effects and help me deal with pain and all. I mean, the community here in Tampa, really, our friends really stepped up to the plate in any way that they could.
Florida's not all terrible.
No, it's not. It's not just Florida.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of listeners outside this area, and I try to explain, as much as they think Tampa or Florida is super fucked up and Zika filled. There is a community in Tampa that actually exists, much like any other city in the country, but it's just not. It's a young area, and hey, man, Florida's got everybody's fuck up family member that moved here for a second life. Anyway, that's another tangent.
And those people, though, I mean, even those people, and that I think, I mean, in their fucked up life, they put together a casserole and a salad and would drop it off. Whatever.
I'm not talking about, like, we had a nurse that helped deliver our baby and basically was our all-star because everybody else sucked when we got to the delivery room a month ago, and she moved here from California. She's one of the rare good ones that moves. We don't get a lot of good imports. We get a lot of deadbeat dads from Kalamazoo, Michigan, or something like that. That's all I'm saying is, like, there is a community that was around you. You did have family around.
Yep.
You had the Cuban family with paper plates and asking people to arm wrestle, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wasn't eating it, but I mean, the nurses were well fed.
But tell me about, so you're 25, and I only know it from the guy's perspective, and I can only kind of try to live through what my sisters were when they were in their mid-20s, but that's an age where you're starting to think about, what you want to do with your life for realsies, not just like I got out of college and I'm trying to scramble for a job kind of deal. Like, I think women are really trying to not nest, but really plan what you want to do. Much better about thinking about that. You're not totally that personality, I don't think, because you keep telling me you're not a girly girl, which is why I like having you and Beth Miller together, because neither of y'all are. But you both really are. But right, you both actually are. So my thing is, like, I try to think about.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm just gonna go with it.
You guys think you're not girly girls, but you actually are. You're women. You're just not over the top about. Hey, I watch The Bachelorette and shit like that.
Okay, well, for Beth that's listening, I mean, there's a whole.
She's not listening.
She will. There must be a whole psychology in that we're trying to deny that we're girly girls. Anyway,
sure. Well, no, I think y'all don't want to be like seen as I'm
not a desperate housewife.
Yeah, I'm not this kind of chick. I'm a real human being kind of deal.
Okay, so I had 25. Just gotten married at 25. Speaking of that, I mean, I had been married for 3 weeks. I
3 weeks after.
3 weeks, okay. And I got diagnosed with cancer, I was going to start teaching. Well, I mean, I can't be around children. I can't, so I'm like not working. So, I mean, now my husband of 3 weeks is going to support both of us. We have medical bills. Thankfully, we had insurance and all of that. It was
remember
a lot.
Our vows, honey. Yeah.
Till death do us part. Yeah. Hopefully it's not that soon. You're not going to get rid of me. You're not getting rid of me that quickly.
Look, I saw the trailer for The Faults of Our Stars or whatever that, and I was like,
I did
started
not watch that.
bawling. I was like, oh my God, I'm turning into.
People are like, Kim, you would love this, and I'm thinking, no, I live that. I'm
No,
totally
yeah, you
cool
already
without
did it.
going to see that.
Right.
But anyway, you're right. I mean, that was super hard. I also at 25, immediately the type of chemo I got put me in menopause. So, and that's like a change of life that happens for people over sometimes a decade, whatever. I mean, this is like, okay, let's rip the Band-Aid off, you know? So as I'm recovering, I mean, I felt crappy, but I didn't know what was like, I'm bending down to get dog food and I can't stand up.
Sure.
Like, everything hurts. I mean, I don't know what is what. I like gained all this weight. And anyway, I went through, I had again, that was like a 5-year thing trying to, really deal with that. I took bioidentical hormones eventually and had a really great doctor here.
What is that?
So, I mean, you can take estrogen, like pharmaceutical, FDA approved, but it's not real. It's fake, made in a lab. Bioidentical it's compounded cream, and it's actually
like HGH? No, HGH is that you can do a cream.
Exactly.
And it increases testosterone.
So originally I had to take estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. I was low on all of them, but everything. So what happened was the type of I'm coming back to that, but the type of cancer I had was of my immune system. Well, 70% of your immune system is in your digestive tract. So anything that I would try to ingest, whether it's Advil or broccoli, like whatever it is, I can't. I was sick before I even got it. Now I get all this chemo and stuff on top of it. Well, I have to heal that. My digestive system, my immune system is super sick. Like chemo killed the cancer. It didn't help repair what was wrong in the first place. So now, and so now I'm going through this menopause. Well, finding something like bioidentical hormones, which was a cream that they rubbed on my skin, when I could absorb that, and the it's bioidentical, and it won't ever be FDA approved because you don't make it in a lab, and it's not it just won't ever in our country the way that, but I mean, like Europe has it, and their medical system works differently than ours.
Of course.
But
yeah,
all things like melatonin and all of those things in Europe are regulated. Because I mean, like melatonin, you can go buy like 1 milligram or 10 milligrams of melatonin. That's really a huge, wide variety and range, and that can be dangerous. I mean, people shouldn't.
I'm gonna ask a dumb question. What does that do?
Melatonin.
I thought that was like people took that when they had to sleep.
That's exactly right. Well, melatonin is what tells your body like during the day you should not be producing so much melatonin. You should it's a hormone, and it's a hormone that regulates your circadian rhythm, which is when you should be sleeping. So for instance, if you're traveling, like I just came back from Maui, and that's a 6-hour time change, I take melatonin to help my body, like this is when you need to be sleeping, this is when you need to be sleeping.
But you have to, it's a Schedule 1 or something here. You have to like go to.
No, you can just go to Village Health, the health food store, and buy it. I'm saying that in Europe, it's probably more like what we would call a Schedule 1. You have to have a prescription for it, whereas here we can buy it over the counter because it's not. You can't regulate it. You can't make it you don't make it in a lab. What pharmaceutical companies put patents on things that you can make in a lab. Melatonin's naturally occurring.
Yeah,
it's a hormone.
Okay.
So bioidentical hormones, they get compounded for you, for what your body needs.
If my eyes drift off, I'm trying to just pay attention.
I know, I do that too.
Okay.
Either way, once I was absorbing these things with the doctor that I was going to, he realized, you know what, you're not absorbing anything. Like, you're not absorbing B vitamins. Like we've got to get you. You've got to start taking shots of stuff. We've got to get you these creams for everything. So I started, my body itself started to heal. I mean, within a year of taking those, I ran a half marathon, and I was like, I don't know how many pounds. I was at least 20 pounds overweight, but I mean, I'm 5'3". I had never weighed that in my life. I was like going through pant sizes because I had energy, because I felt like myself. And then it was.
This is on the upswing of feeling better?
Oh, yeah, no, I was feeling way better. I mean, I started to be able to.
So this is a good, like, 20 pounds kind of deal?
Yeah, I was overweight. I had gone, like, when you think of women going through menopause and later in life, I mean, they put weight on. I did.
Look, I'm gonna be a dumb guy and just go,
Okay.
sure. Mm-hmm.
I know.
I mean, I know of menopause. I don't know. Like, look, we just had a kid, and I was like, yeah, I got this. And I was like, man, I didn't know anything going on. Like, even
Crash course.
Yeah. And so, like with menopause, let's say for the dumb fellas out there.
Well, you don't make estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. I mean, you and I mean, we're obviously male, female. We both make all three of those hormones.
Right.
Just I don't have as much testosterone as you. That's awesome.
I've got a lot of estrogen though.
Right. So whatever.
I blame my two older sisters for the estrogen.
Right. Well, the thing is that when you start to make less of those in your later years. So, but I was 25. I was supposed to be having, I should have had, my body was acting like it was 20 years, 30 years older than it was. I felt that way too.
Right.
Now we have all this anti-aging medicine is what it's called.
Sure.
I kind of feel like that's a bad name for it, but I mean, it makes you feel better. Either way, the doctor started helping me identify. I was outside of quote unquote Western medicine. They started helping me identify you still feel sick because you are sick. You can't absorb this stuff. So as I start to feel better, I mentally also,
yeah, of course.
I mean, I could clearly, I could identify. Yeah.
A part of the reason I'm so spacey right now is because I haven't been taking care of myself physically. I get that on a very micro level. That's what you're going through is a very intense level where, hey, I'm back on the upswing. Here's what worked. And I'll tease this question, and I'll tell you something that helped me that was kind of a little bit natural that I didn't think would work. But I was going to say, how did you get from feeling better to us meeting and talking about wanting to do this business?
Well, I had one more large lesson. So I went through this year where I was feeling so much better. I was doing the bioidenticals. I was starting to take replace supplements and blood builders that were help. I had blood cancer, and I was feeling great, and I was exercising, and my husband at the time got transferred to Germany. I was training for this half marathon, and flew to San Francisco to do it, came back, and I got super sick. And what I didn't know was that I had a gene that's largely related to reactive arthritis. Anyway, my body kind of exploded into this arthritis, and it's an autoimmune condition, which when you have an autoimmune condition, that means that your body is attacking you. It's your immune system again. So I knew, all right, I've had cancer of my immune system, which means my immune system is weak. Now my immune system is so active that it's attacking me. I knew that wasn't an accident. I was super frustrated. I did not want to go through this crap again, but I mean, here I was. I mean, I was like, I was kind of laughing, like, all right, seriously? Now I'm stuck on the couch, like I can't move. My knee is huge. It takes 8 pounds of pressure to squeeze a shampoo bottle.
Oh, good to know. I didn't know the PSI on that.
I had 2 pounds in my hands. Like I couldn't tear toilet paper. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I was like an invalid adult asking people to dress me. I mean, it was just not fun. So, I mean,
it's very vulnerable.
Oh my gosh, yes, and kind of humiliating, frankly. I mean, you just really don't. I mean, again, my husband at the time wanted to hire an in-home nurse. I had one for like 2 days, and I said, heck no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm sure the conversation was fun with that. So, what are you into? Yeah.
To be real honest, I mean, I was already not feeling well, and I was sitting on the couch, and I saw this girl. She was very overweight. She was picking her nose, sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is not going to work.
Get the booger queen out of here.
We got to go. She's going to have to go. And you know what? But those things drove me to like, well, I popped my shoulder bone, my collarbone out of socket because I'm like, fine. That's fine. I'm not having an in-home nurse. I'll dress myself. Well, yeah, so I'm just stubborn. I mean, the stubbornness got.
But stubborn's not a bad thing.
No.
All the time. It's bad if you broke your leg because you're stubborn. Popping your shoulder out is pretty bad.
It was my collarbone.
okay, that's pretty bad. But I would say,
I was so pissed.
And I apologize. I know the story. I'm trying to set you up, but I forget all the beats to the story because I've read it.
We don't have to go through all of it.
No. We're fine. That's why podcasts are great. We have the time.
Okay.
But my thing with that is, your story is on your website, empathcoaching.com, and I think part of what's missing is you telling it like this, because it's not going to go through the, like, hey, these 2 days sucked when I had a nurse, and because I think that's the stuff you can relate to. Look, most of us are going to get cancer, sadly, at some point.
1 in 3. Take it away. Cancel what you just said. That's not
Why?
even nice.
No,
it's just putting it out there.
No, it's just statistics.
I don't agree.
Okay, well, you know what I mean, though. Like, we're going to be vulnerable, and we're going to be sick, and we're going to need other people's help. And even though you're a very balanced and kind of even-keeled person with a positive disposition, that there's going to be days where you don't have that. You know, it's hard to be consistently that way.
Oh, no, I freak out.
Sure.
I freak out moments.
Sure, we all do. And I think that is part of the empath path.
Again, like I freak out, but I freak out, and then I don't make decisions out of the freak out. I don't make decisions from the spot that I'm freaking out. I freak out, I recognize, and I'm like, well, I'm not leaning into this fear. But yeah, I got that arthritis, having that, and it took me years to recover, but that was where I had to really dig in deep and heal myself from the inside out. So in going through that arthritis, I mean, like I've said so many times, having that was harder than me having cancer, because having cancer was like, nope, this is your protocol, this is what you're doing. That has such a harsh ring to it. You know, I had a lot of support, and I had a lot of support through the arthritis too, but it was the humiliating vulnerability of that. I kind of stayed inside a lot. I had a lot of rehab to do, and I found a really great, her name's Charla, and she works here in Tampa at Swan Holistic Health Solutions.
What up, girl?
What up? She's amazing. She's like my little mad scientist, but she just helped me heal from the inside out, and through her, I met a lot of other people that really helped me on my path.
Yep, your empath. That's
my empath.
I mean, it's a little corny why we came up with that, but I mean, it kind of plays into the name and the brand because it is a path. It's a journey. You're trying to get better. You're trying to take one route over the other.
In doing this, I've always loved helping people. I was a teacher. I will always be a teacher. I mean, not of elementary students, but I mean, I love.
You're like, fuck them. But yeah.
No.
They're terrible.
That's just
monsters.
No.
But I'll teach 6th grade or above for sure.
I just did teach elementary. I'm just saying I'm not going to be in a school setting teaching, but I mean, I love speaking and workshops and doing that and sharing. And I didn't always know that what I was going through was prepping me for being able to share and help other people. But definitely almost, I mean, when I have clients, it's hard for me as they're talking. I think, oh yeah, did that. But I don't, that comes across as Miss Know-It-All. So I mean, really, like you mentioned earlier,
you don't blurt out like I do.
No, I listen. I was going to say, you said earlier, you just have to listen. I feel it, but I mean, that is the way that I can empathize with them, because through those two big major things, there are so many micro stories of moments that I know through going through that. There are times where yes, I might be hurting or whatever, but I can pick myself up, And I mean, like, okay, so divorce, that's like a 50% divorce rate in this country. Well, part of me getting on my path was getting divorced, and that's nothing at all against my ex-husband, but I mean, that was a thing that I had to do. I had to look at my relationships.
And where did that kind of coincide with the treatment and recovery? And
well, I was married for 10 years, and it was toward the end of my arthritic recovery, I was still really not, I had through like separation, I had just kind of started running again, and I remember not being able to properly walk even when we got separated. So I mean, it was like really towards the end, but I felt this. There's not one reason really that leads up to that kind of thing, but I mean, I did feel this internal fire, and I thought that we would go do that together, but as I started expressing, I was at a point where I had been so frustrated, and I felt like I was getting ready to launch something big in my life. I wanted to do it. I thought we would do it together, which is okay. I mean, you kind of, when people walk away, you got to let them go.
Sure.
Business, wherever that
Well,
is, you know?
Y'all dated in high school?
Yeah.
So,
right.
like, I mean, that's so rare now. That is like a very Auburn kind of couple story. Like,
well, we went to Auburn together,
right.
too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all dated for a decade,
Exactly.
and you got married at 25. You know, I'm a huge Loveline fan forever, and like they always talk about like someone will call in, usually like Midwest or Southern, and they'll call in and it'll be like, I think wife's cheating or husband's cheating or whatever, and it's like, when did y'all start getting together? And it's like we're high school sweethearts, and it's like, that's tough because you never.
Well,
I don't
the
know.
person that you are, I mean, so yeah, I mean, we had gotten. Again, that was probably the spot. In relationships in general are huge. I mean, those are we're social beings. Humans are social, and so relationships, friends, family, those things are very primary. Almost the number one thing that is holding people back in taking a step. I mean, people even have fears around. I mean, especially have fears around like, well, what if I launch this business? What if I go, are these people that I love, they're not going to come with me, or how does that look? So, and then when you think of like a romantic relationship, I mean, there's just the psychology of that goes on and on. Like you're mirroring each other. So yeah, I mean, I got together with this person from a juvenile standpoint. I had been through a lot. It wasn't juvenile for me anymore, and that's nothing against, and for him too. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't super. He was probably like, see ya, sick of.
Well, it's kind of like having food when you're a kid. I was like, crystal clear Pepsi is rad, man. I'm so glad it's back. And then you have it, you're like, ugh, my taste buds were weird when I was little. Surge? Yeah, fuck yeah. I'll drink a whole case of that. And then I had like half a sip. I was like, oh my God, this feels like battery acid.
Yes.
It's kind of the same thing.
Vienna sausages.
Oh.
No, you never. Oh, Tripp's going to want some Vienna sausages. You're
really?
going to have to open them up.
Oh, look, I was the weird kid that ate raw hot dogs.
Please don't give him
and put Cool
that.
Whip on them. I was a weirdo.
Shut up. I have never heard that.
Yep.
Oh, you just took the vision. The visual of that is just real
gross. Just get a wiener out of the pack and then just dip it in there. Double dip all the way. And the sisters never knew until they found out.
Now they know.
Oh, they know.
Everybody's been married now, so that had to have come up at a speech.
Oh, we play repeater.
Come on.
We play repeater of stories all the time, so they still think I eat bread and butter because that's all I used to eat. Like when I was like 9 or 10 when I was at Thanksgiving, and so being one of the younger, maybe usually the youngest in the family in the room for a while, you get clowned on for, hey, you want stuffing or bread and butter? And you're like, all right, I'll take whatever.
Well, that circles right. That comment right there circles back to what you were saying earlier about your friends and, hey, I'm this smart business guy.
It's really hard to reprogram that.
It is. And okay, so what I was saying about the relationship thing, it is that also I mentioned that this 50% divorce rate or whatever, and I mean, that who's to say that in the people that are married, I mean, relationships need, this is a very primary thing to our health.
Right.
Period. And again, like having the vulnerability to take a look at yourself. I remember, that's just another big part to me. I mention it about my business and what I do, because I was very ashamed to get divorced. I was totally ashamed. I see now in my work, me not going through that, I would not be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to empathize in the same way that I can, because I had to, when that was removed from me, I had so much to learn and grow, because the only relationship I had really known was from being in high school. I mean, there was so much that I could hide behind, that I didn't have to deal with. I will never forget telling
like, what's Tinder? What is this?
I promise I've never used Tinder at the
Okay, Cupid. This thing's weird. I don't know about this. Yeah.
A friend of mine in Maui dressed up like the Tinder app for Halloween last year. It was pretty good. You would have totally appreciated it. It had like a swipe right, the arrow.
Really?
Yeah. That's putting it out there.
Might
for
steal
sure.
that. Yeah.
I think you can. I think you
I do
can
Grindr
recycle.
just because I want to go to the gay parties.
Well, I like that you're just putting that out there.
Oh, gay parties are way better. Food's better. More everybody's excited.
Oh my gosh, I totally hung out with the gay guys when I was getting divorced. I'm like, this is safe and fun.
Oh yeah, the gay mafia is real. If they'll take you in. You got to be welcomed. So
I sat there. I'm like, okay. So talk to me about this. I just read Cheryl Strayed's Wild, I think. Yeah, I had just read it. And she has this scene in the book where she hasn't gone through divorce, but she's taken herself on this big Pacific Trail hike and packing her monster backpack and all this stuff. So
I only know the Reese, my old church buddy Reese Witherspoon movie.
Yeah. So she goes out and she's camping and she's out with all these guys and they're like looking at her like, what are you doing? What is this chick doing? She's got this. She is clueless. She's out here in the wild by herself. What is she doing? She's like trying to find herself. Well, so she has like these condoms that fall out of her backpack, and they throw them away. They throw them away like she does not need to use these condoms. So I had been reading the book, so I'm out.
All right.
Well, they were like, I think they were trying to protect in the book. They're trying to protect her
by not giving her protection.
Exactly, by not giving her. You would think that part of the story would take place in the South. It did not. It was in Oregon. But anyway, so I'm out one night.
Oh, there's rednecks everywhere. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm sitting here having a glass of wine, and I'm like, I'm just gonna ask these people this question. They're strangers. And I asked this lady, I'm with they're gay and lesbians, and I said, so is it my job to have condoms? Am I supposed to have the condoms? She slapped me across the face, I swear. And I'm like, what the fuck?
She's like, I don't know.
She goes, you need to wake up. What's wrong? Of course it is. I'm like, okay, got
really?
it. Oh, yeah. She's like, yeah.
I feel like both sides.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, well, should I? She's basically like, yeah, don't rely on some.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was taken to freaking boot camp on all the relationships.
I'm so glad you said boot camp on relationship
stuff.
stuff.
I totally was. But, I mean, and people I've dated, I mean, like, I have a lot of fear, frankly, around like a current relationship that I'm in. I mean, I'm moving. I don't know what to do. But I mean, one thing I can say for sure is having that going through a divorce, having that removed from me, I'll just never lean into that again. I mean, I've got to, people have to show up equally. I've learned I can be, anyway, I think that part, me going through that divorce will help me and does help me empathize with people in all relationships the way that I had to kind of dig in and learn. Wait, I want to say
No, you're fine. You have time.
I know, but I want to say I was going back to what my counselor said. So
the next meeting I have is like 33 minutes away or something like that. So you're fine.
So that my counselor tells me, she goes, so I'm getting divorced. I'm sitting there and she goes, Kim, okay, let's talk about you. I'm like, no. He did, da-da-da-da. And we're like, are getting divorced. And she would like not let me say anything. No, what about you? And I sat there and she kept asking me and I'm like, what do you mean, what about me? And I just realized in that moment, like this whole realization of, I've never really, I don't know. I don't even have an answer because I have not ever really I don't know. Oh, so I'm like, so I get, okay. I was like all these like
self-reflection.
Exactly. Like everything sort of reorganized, like a little Tetris thing, like click, 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 click.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to calibrate yourself a little bit, and it's always good to. I try to take walks without anything as well. Like take 10, 20-minute walk. I'll do it around here out of the office or in our park near our house. And I try to leave the phone at home so I can do that. Like, all right, I have no option but to really think about what's going on. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of valuable. That's something I do to kind of almost get your tuning fork kind of just right a little bit, or your compass, or whatever metaphor you want to use.
Yeah, because you notice signs. I mean, that stuff comes to you when you are paying attention. If we're not ever paying attention.
But I mean, I also think like, I always think like, I think you and I have this thing where we think we're very maybe narcissistic or self-absorbed if we're thinking about ourselves a lot. But a lot of the time, it's if you don't figure out yourself a little bit, if you don't spend a little bit of time trying to figure that out, everything else will kind of, your Tetris, you'll leave that 4-banger line in Tetris, you'll leave that little hole open.
Yeah, well, if we don't know what we want, then everybody around, then we are sending out a totally confused message. If we're not taking care of ourselves and asking for what we need or expressing that, then everybody else around us is also confused. It's just like a cycle. Yeah, and I mean, there's so many crutches.
And
so,
but then we're both in a position to kind of give back to whoever we're talking to at any given minute, because, and not like in a douchey kind of way, like I'm Tony Robbins or something like that, but I feel like I have a lot of...
He's not a douche.
I can't tell. I don't know. Is he?
I think he's brilliant. I think he is the ultimate empath.
I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
I would say that, but it's like...
He's not your guru, but he is mine.
Bam. Wow. Wow. Well, he's like, you got to get in your fucking face and get out of here, or something like that.
But then he explains why he says that. He says he's trying to
I get it, but I mean, it's also like...
I wouldn't want someone to say that to me. I feel like I'd say it right back, like, no, but...
I feel like that's all Love Line listeners. It was all the people at that thing, in that Netflix thing, and it was all people. It was like, all right, just break it down to your parents fucking you up. And that was everybody.
I love the one, the like 40-something-year-old girl, and he's like, call him now. Get on your cell phone and call that guy. And he's like, your dad fucked you up. Did he make you the princess? He fucked you up? I was like, oh,
all he's
damn.
doing is decision tree shit. He's like, okay, let's go back. Okay,
Those
you got an eating disorder. Okay, okay, would you get that? Oh, high school? Okay,
well, let me just plug my own self right here and just say that so you don't have to pay $5,000 to go to Tony Robbins' thing. I mean, that's what you do when you call me.
There you go.
Exactly what we do.
That's a good spin.
That's why I liked him, though. I mean, because I did believe in his message. I mean, I would have trouble sitting with 5,000 people. I mean, I think on that Netflix thing, I'm Not Your Guru, he mentioned, I think it's $5,000 a head, and there's 2,500 people in there.
And it takes place in South Florida, of course. Yeah. And he had total rights to that documentary, too. So I was like, I don't know if I'm getting the full thing about this.
Well, sure. I mean,
I don't know. It's like Scientology. Like, I'm sure most of it's fine, but it's like when people are too gung ho.
Unless you're Tom Cruise,
but
his wife. Unless you're Tom Cruise's wife,
right? Like, he gets medals for doing nothing in Scientology. So like, my thing is, it doesn't feel authentic to a degree. And I know you got to go. When you're at his level, you have to go to that super church celebrity mentality.
You know who I'd love? We need to see. Can we get this on the podcast? The couple on that show, I'm Not Your Guru, and she like reads out that the universe is mine and blah blah blah, and then he's like reading his thing, and Tony Robbins is like, shut the fuck up to the guy.
Hates on the guy,
and then he starts roaring like a lion, and that one for me, I'm like, dude, that's wow, I couldn't really buy into that one. And then they had like this awesome sex, and they're having a baby like by the end of the week. I don't know. I was like, something got edited there.
I don't remember that part.
I do that one. See, I'm like I clue into the relationship stuff.
I think I was kind of perturbed by the end of that thing.
I was perturbed by the lion roaring.
Well, here's the deal. Like, it does show you that, and for me, it's like, okay, I'd rather people be there and spend $5,000 than just kind of go find other means to spend their time and do something shitty. Like, at least it's in a pocket.
It's not $5,000 on the Himalayan salt weed. No.
Right. Well,
right.
Weed's,
okay.
$50 an eighth. So, the salt, Himalayan salt. Well, it depends what kind of weed.
I'm listening.
So my thing is like, I don't get mad at anybody going to like church or that's super corny.
You would totally go to hell if you got mad at people going to church.
Well, I mean,
good call. Karma's a bitch.
You could you could make a case for Catholicism, but I'll say like if it's in a good direction and it's putting positive vibes out there, man, it's fine. I think that the I'm not your guru stuff, it does show you that there's a lot of people that can't pay or don't know that thing exists. I feel like there's just a lot of people that do want to ask for this help and don't know how. So when we started talking about empath in its zygote stage, it was like, well, you know, I totally agree that there's so many people that just need some, as Bert Kreischer calls it, nautical beacons in their life. They just need people to keep them within the buoys, to keep them going forward.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, when I started talking to you about it, I mean, it felt so big and so vulnerable. Like, I knew I felt compelled to write and to share, but I just didn't know how that would be received. And I mean, I feel so grateful to every time I share something. I mean, it is touching people's lives. I mean, they are people. I put stuff on Facebook or my blog or whatever, but I mean, I get personal messages all the time, and it just, I mean, it keeps me going and helps me know that I'm on the right path. I mean, I haven't had any.
You're doing a simultaneous path, you know, like yours is
me helping other people,
right.
Totally helping me.
Right, because you're towing a line. It's that balance again, the duality, all that stuff.
Well, we're all connected. I mean,
but
totally.
but I use our company as a comparison business-wise with clients. I go, hey, man, we're going through the same thing right now, or we just went through that. So you're kind of coincidingly, does that make sense? Kind of doing a lot of the same. You're going through similar hurdles at different levels, if that makes sense. So, like, you might have a client that talks to you, and what is the feedback thus far? When do we make a kind of a public statement? What was that? Maybe 2 months ago? Not even?
I think that my website that you design that people love all the time.
Sweet.
I think that my website went live in July.
And then you started putting it out there personally, which we talked about, like, start with your friends and family. And I think you were nervous about, you know, pushing this out there for that hubris part.
Yep. And
I remember reading all the comments, like, at a weird time one night, and I was like, that's awesome. Because there's so many people that was like, this is great. I'm so glad you're doing this. You know, like, it was a lot. It was like 50 or something like that. So, you know, I know a lot of people get nervous about doing an entrepreneurial endeavor, especially one that has this kind of, it has a self-help part of it. It has an intangible coaching part to it. And I know you were nervous about, I was trying to tell you, like, people do gravitate towards this kind of stuff. Not only the advice you're giving through Empath, but the fact that you're doing this business. And that's another kind of coinciding story that you're going through, you know?
Yeah.
Because half of you is trying to figure out how to work with clients, but the other half of you is trying to go, hey, I want to make this business for real, and I want to get volume, not to be uber rich, but to really help people.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in the law of attraction, and that, you know, you doing the right thing with the right intention attracts the right people that need your help. I mean, one thing that I kind of felt nervous about was I don't want to put myself out there and for someone to think that I'm some kind of perfectionist, or that, yeah, I have it all figured out, which is what you're saying. I mean, no, I've just been through it, and I know how to help, and I know how to listen. And really, before I launched my business, I mean, I have helped so many people. I mean, if I had $1 for how many people basically told me to do this, Kim, you've got to share, you've got to help people, people would come to me naturally. So, I mean, and that's when those things are happening. Those are those signs that I was saying. I mean, those are little gifts coming to you, helping put you on your path. The little cookie crumbs that are like telling me, hey, Kim, you should write, you should share.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying should. You know what my grandmother says? She hates that word. She says, you should all over yourself.
I like that.
That's what my grandmother says. Because really, I can see how that one could be removed. But either way.
It's the thing of, like, I think we've talked about this. It's like, hey, everybody, I get a lot of this. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do stand up one day, and then you get the credit for saying it, but you didn't actually do it. You know, like, hey, I'm gonna run a marathon, and you tell a bunch of people, and they're like,
that
yeah,
doesn't
good
count.
for you. That's not.
No.
I think that's maybe more my age range of people just like, hey, I get credit for saying I'm gonna do this and putting it out there, man. It's like, yeah, you get a little bit.
There are a lot of ideas out there, but you got to do it. You got to take the step. And I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, taking the first step, that's all you have to do is take the first step.
Right.
Whether you're running a marathon, you got to go to the first training, you run the first mile. You don't have to run 26. Day one, you can't. It's training. But doing those hard things, like me training for a triathlon or whatever, I mean, after told me I couldn't walk. I mean, yeah. I mean, doing that every day, putting in the discipline helped me do the hard thing, which is starting this business, knowing I start little, I have an awesome team, Law, Beth, Nick, Snap. I mean, I have a great, surrounding myself with people that believe in me, that care about me, and that's what we all need to do.
Yeah. And and you gave us one of the best compliments. I told my wife when you told it to us, but you said, like, you surround yourself with a lot of good people, and that's really great. And you were saying, everybody I've sent your way for stuff we don't handle has been awesome. And that's been one of the best kind of compliments that we may have to capitalize on and put on our website. But we're getting at about an hour 15. I guess let's close it out, and I'll open this gift at the end for my baby. But where are y'all now? Where's Empath now? Where do you want it to go?
Where I am now is just really enjoying the ride, I think. I mean, things are going at a pretty quick pace, growing quickly. I mean, where I'm really enjoying the writing a lot more than I thought.
Right.
And I really see myself eventually having a book more so than, I've always liked the public speaking and that kind of in the teaching, but the writing I'm really enjoying.
It's going to help that podcast.
Oh, okay.
Look, a podcast, this is easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't like a pulling teeth conversation.
No, I mean, I can talk.
Yeah. And so, but I think that here, I'm going to make a pitch for a podcast again, because I think you're going to do it. It's just a matter of when. It's that thing that, just like writing, it's going to help your writing. It helps me do stand-up because I'm trying to think about, I'm trying to be curious while talking to someone.
Cross-training?
Yeah. It pulls a different muscle, but a good muscle for other things. It's going to help you write because it's going to make you articulate. If you're smart and prepare, unlike I do, it'll really help you in your writing because it'll help you bullet point stuff out, or you'll think about theories like, here's the way I go about X, Y, and Z, and it'll help your whole business. But that consistency for people that can't pay for your services, that's kind of one of the reasons I did this, because I get hit up for a lot of help, and people are like, hey, can we sit down and go over this vegan restaurant I want to open up? And I'm like, yes and no. Like, I'll talk to you about it over a beer, but I can't do like a 3-4 hour session. Why don't you do this? Why don't you listen to this podcast? Because I'm trying to get any good advice from entrepreneurs, but also like realistic advice. Like you're saying, like, don't have this pity party. Just try to keep moving forward when things are going horrible.
Yeah. So, well, I do improv as well, so you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually.
Oh yeah, you did that too. I
yeah.
get surprised when anybody listens to some of the stuff I say.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. I did improv before you.
No, but that's
me.
Still.
I was already doing it. Anyway, well, I'm really loving that. When I work with my clients.
I'm taking the credit. Yeah. Uh-huh.
When I work with my clients, I leave an hour session with them, and I'm like, this is amazing. I mean, the growth that people, I can't, that's where I'm like, I can't believe I get paid for this. I mean, this is
right.
Easy for me. They're having all this growth. Easy in terms of like, it just happens very naturally. Listening, the synchronicities, the the books that I'll take off of my shelf to bring to a meeting or something, and I like that were just right in alignment for what they needed. All of that, I just love it. I mean, so I'm loving life. I mean, and hoping, obviously always want clients to come my way and that kind of thing. And
I'll make 2 more pitches for you.
All right, let's go.
About you doing
listening.
a podcast. It will it'll be one of those real conversations you have all week, because a lot of the time I'm doing work, and so for 2 hours a week at least, I'm doing our college football one with my good buddy and business attorney, Steve Fantetti, and you and I may never meet up if there wasn't a reason to do the podcast,
right? And
have this hour-and-a-half conversation it's hyper-focused. I haven't looked at my phone the whole time, and it's about your story, which I knew, but it's good to hear it again in the way you're kind of talking about it. So you'll go out of your way to reach out to people you don't even know that you would never have a reason to. So I'm trying to get like the Cubs manager, Joe Madden, when they're done with the season. I wouldn't have a reason to go, hey, can you come to my office? So I can fanboy out.
I lie. Yeah, no, that's a great I see what you're saying. It's just a different way to connect and to connect the dots. And we don't always have to know how they're all coming together. But, I mean, it's expansion and working a different muscle. I like it. Plus, I'm never knocking the podcast right now. I don't see where I have time to fit it in, but I'm not going to put that out there.
You're already defeated.
I'm not.
All
I
right,
know. Okay.
I'll tell you what the breakdown is. For each podcast, for me, if I can find 3 hours a week for each, but you get so much more out of that. And those 3 hours really aren't 3 hours. So like booking you on this wasn't a big deal. It was like 2 emails, back and forth. Okay, done. Sometimes there's a lot of pre-booking stuff that takes a while with some people. So that averages out to about an hour before the podcast. And then afterward, gotta make an image, gotta upload it. But I don't do any editing. And then it's just another thing to get out there on the business douchebag side of it. It's another way to get your voice out there while you're doing other things, and it's more content and all that stuff.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm gonna open this
gift. Let's see what's in store.
What'd you bring?
Trip.
Is it weed? Himalayan weed?
I mean, that would be for you.
Welcome to the club.
I'm thinking this can help out with when you're writing for comedy.
Okay. It's a book on 100 parenting milestones you never saw coming.
Just read a few of them. I mean,
Welcome
they're pretty
to the club.
hysterical.
Oh, this is going to be embarrassing. I can't read out loud.
Just like the highlighted,
baby's first photo session. I see something about shitting.
Well, everyone knows. I mean, baby's first photo session, they puke on you. Everyone's trying to look cute, and they pee and puke, they're tired. Okay.
We're doing that on Tuesday.
Okay. Well, then see,
First time you try to install a car seat and curse yourself for not getting that PhD in theoretical physics.
That has to have already happened for you.
Oh, I sweated. I was in the parking lot, in the parking garage, like, oh, I hope I do this right. Fucking.
It's only the safety of your child, no
right.
pressure.
No, they check it on the way out. I didn't know that either. So like, you're getting like roasted as
you're
soon as like
maybe gonna fail in
like,
Dadsville on the way out of the hospital.
I'm sweating. I'm watching YouTube videos. Like, I would not be a good SWAT team member right now. Defusing a bomb. Thank you. This is great. Is there something? Oh,
there's a few other.
Okay, some appetizers. Appetizers.
I love the stress of trying to read that.
I'm so bad at reading out loud. Baconese.
They're just, you can freeze the bacon. I mean, it's just a little new fun shape for when little Trip is teething.
I like that.
I can't get you like a normal
I love it.
Ice ring teether.
Look, the fact that you thought of us ahead of time to get this is awesome.
It had your name all over it. There's something else in there. And
it actually looks like the sticks in our logo, but bacon.
That must be why.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Beth wants a photo of this.
This is great. A sriracha sippy cup with full sriracha with the almost Ybor City-like rooster logo on there.
Yep.
Oh man, I just
you might get some odd looks from others thinking that you're serving your baby sriracha water.
I love all that stuff of the frantic helicopter parents, like the ones that'll come over and tell you shit that like you don't know them.
You really shouldn't be drinking that wine around your baby that's 6 weeks old. And you're like, yeah, I'm not drinking some wine. I'm drinking the bottle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've got a lot of ideas. I got baby mustaches. Just because it'd be
You're
weird.
You're gonna reinvent.
We bought a long time ago. We bought little baby plastic cups, like the Solo cups, but like they're all 1 ounce, so that they look adorable. So I think we're gonna try to use that in the photo shoot, like he's playing beer pong, like a real, Auburn Tiger.
That.
Well, thanks for coming
You're
on.
so welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
We can do this again if you're in Hawaii. We can you can come back on over Skype and say, hey, since we last talked, I learned a bunch of cool shit. Here's what I learned.
Yeah,
you know?
Before Grandpa passed, that's how we were planning it anyway.
Yeah. And so, all right, Pete, seemed like a good dude, and not a good circumstance for you to come back, but it's good to see you.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for coming. Peace.